Welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. That is a 2007 Jeep Liberty. It just got towed in. Came from another shop. It does not start. It does not crank. They're pretty sure the ignition switch has gone bad. Want us to double check it, and then if that's the case, get it fixed. First thing I noticed, besides this sweet thing, lightsaber, is lots of aftermarket stuff. We got radios. We got flashy lights outside. Strobe lights, we got blinky lights in the back, all kinds of stuff. I do hear the fuel pump and stuff run there. And when I turn the key forward, it feels kind of funny. Not like ha-ha funny. It just doesn't feel like it goes all the way. We got no blinky security light, which is good, but I do see the radio actually turns off and then back on. So I got this plugged in. Let me go grab a scan tool. This does feel kind of funny. Alright, well, anyways, we'll take letter auto ID here. And then we'll see if we can get ignition switch input data, see if it's even sending some kind of start request signal. Find out where this is going to be. What are our options here? We'll go body control. I assume that's possibly. Let's just see what kind of data pits we have here. Ignition volts. Nope. Nope, I don't want that. I want it to cancel. Let's see, we're going to back out. Maybe we'll just go into the engine. If not, we might have to go into the security. Security. What do we got? Engine data, MDS, sensor, switch inputs, maybe. We'll see what we have in here. I tell you what, I won't bore you with this process. I'll do some poking. So I found this in security. Ignition switch status. It just has on, and then when I go back one click, everything turns off, and it shows the position of off. Then I go back again to lock. I'm not finding any accessories, so I'm pretty sure they're on the right track as far as that goes, and just the fact that this feels a little bit honky. We'll just look up the starter circuit, see what it takes to make this little guy run, and we will see if, well, perhaps we can just jump a starter relay and the thing technically should run, I would think, because everything else looks like it's on. So I'll pull up that diagram, find out where that is, see if we can just whoop, 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 give it a little bypass.
Whoop, whoop, there it is.
According to the wiring diagram, the starter relay should live in the underhood power distribution center. It says, let's see, how are these like that? That's the blankie, so that's got to be the starter right here. Come on, get your...
Do you want me to try and get it out for you?
Might have to. Ah, kumbaya. I got that. Let me grab a pair of pliers and get the long skinny needle nose up on my magnet bar. Mm-hmm. Please. It is in park, and the key is in the onward position. Let's see if we can't hot wire this baby.
Nose pickers.
Man, are we picking this?
What?
Ooh, it didn't start though.
Is that how you hot wire something?
No, obviously it would have ran.
All the people.
The key's on. I don't know why it doesn't start. Maybe it needs to start a signal.
Why? They just went for a ride. Okay.
Interesting, unless there's other portions of the ignition switch that are non-functional or as part of security. But it does crank, so that we know.
That's
All right, well, let's continue on with our diag. We'll find our ignition switch on a diagram and see what kind of inputs we have or don't have. I think these are Torx bits up in here. Up in here. I thought, maybe. Can't see. Maybe I just got the wrong size. Good thing I grabbed two. Where you at, little fella? Oh, there we go. So I printed out some diagrams for the ignition switch. A little surprised that didn't start, but I guess I shouldn't be. Could be looking for more inputs than you know, simply that. ECM might be looking for the actual start command. So we'll look and see if we're getting that from the ignition switch. Oops. Oops, oops. Come on, fall out of there. I know you're in there. The story of my life. Why won't you separate? There we go. See?
Hey, good job.
That was easy. Whoa, she's dusty down here.
Oh, I dust under my console all the time. I don't know why they do.
You don't pull your trim panel off and
Oh,
dust?
yeah, absolutely. I don't know why they don't.
Okay, stick them screws and stuff to the side. So, folks, in case you're wondering, if you're doing yours, that's how many clips there are. A couple clips on each side, and then the 2 screws. All right, and then the ignition switch should be this little guy right here. I feel like it plugs in very well.
Okay, squishy.
Well, let me see. The camera is sitting on the keys, so I'm gonna have to exchange the keys with the screwdriver. Boom, look at that, seamlessly transition.
You hadn't told me. What is it known?
No, not feeling it. Let's see how the interlock works. All right. Well, let's see there, Marie. There's our papers. Oh, it printed in landscape mode. Who in the heck does that?
You do.
This guy does, huh? What a jerk.
Look at that landscape. Isn't it beautiful?
Pink, yellow, pink, light green. Oh, we got a lot of those colors. Pink and yellows. Wow, that thing is bright. Hashtag DeWalt. Hashtag not a sponsor.
Hashtag bulky.
Yeah, hashtag it is bulky. Light blue with red. I don't see that. That is supposed to be for the start circuit. Let me just see if that is on our starter diagram too. No, it is not. It is light blue with red. And then we have pink with light green.
Gasp. You mean someone's been in here?
Light blue with red. Unless this is color blinding me. Oh, there it is. Way up in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, fantastic. Let's get some testing equipment. And I'm going to need some kind of, I don't know, I'm going to be smart. I'm not going to take this off because there's a lot of aftermarket gizmos behind there that are being detained with this. So I want the one with the vice grip clip,
Yep.
please. I got a T-pin in my hat. Oh, look at that, I do. What? I'll give that a 90, so hopefully I can reach back there and touch everything I need to touch.
What does that say?
First, in the run position, we should have pink and yellow, so pin 8 and pin 7, and pink with light green. So all 3 pink wires with traces should be hot in the run position. So we'll try that. Okay, and our red wire should be hot on the way in. So our red wire should always be hot. That's not always the case, but it is the case in this case. Will you get me a pair of needle nose, young lady? Mm-hmm. Quick like a bunny. Because I can't get my fat arthritic fingers up in that joint. I don't really want to poke all the wires, so. Boom, thank you.
You're welcome. The little tiny ones wouldn't work for that?
I don't have them in here, do I? So we're going to check the red wire first. This is the red wire. And we have power on that. Okay. And then all of our pinks should also be hot. Wow, you're so hot. There's that one, and one more. Back up in there, and that one's hot. So we have all 3 pinks are hot. Of course, the one that we really want to check, what's the purple with something? The black is the ground. Violet with tan. That is violet with tan.
That's not purple, it's violet.
And that goes to the body control module. Alright, so maybe that's some kind of ground. It is a ground side switch of some sort. Maybe that gives the start signal. Don't know, it doesn't have it in my diagram. But light blue with red is the one that's supposed to go to our starter relay. And that hides way back up in there. Let me try to get to it. Light blue with red. There it is. I'm on it. Like white on rice. Let's see. Oh crap, I just lost my helper. So now I'm going to try to balance this. Oops, wrong wire, fella. Let's see. Dang it all to heck. I'm going to have to unplug it. Set down my T-pin. I'm going to have to unplug this. There's that. Unplug, you filthy animal. There it is. We got it. It's unplugged. Now we're going to have to T-pin it into the start position. Get my T-pin off the floor. Bear with me, folks. It's way on the back side. It's going to be a tricky little sucker to get to. Let me go get a different back probe. So because we want clear and definitive testing on this one, we're going to have to pierce this wire because it's so tight to the back there, I don't think that we're going to get to it. So we're going to have to cut the tape. Very gingerly cut the tape. Need some help, Josh? Josh is working on this old rotted out Chevy Avoca. And the guy can't get it in reverse, but the shift linkage is so freaking wore out on that thing. But the whole rest of the car is pretty wore out too, so. But where the two halves of the shaft come together, the bolt was loose there and kind of wiggling around, so I just told him to tighten it up where it was, see if it worked. If not, we got to kind of guess that position. It's a fun game. So now we know. We're not guessing whether or not our probe is in the right spot on the back side here. We're going to get this realigned, get it plugged back in, come into our back probe, our wire piercing tool. Make sure I'm in the hole. Gotta have a look at my eyes. And then we hit the start, and we got nothing. Which is kind of what we suspected anyways. So that is not lighting up when it should. So, without further ado, we do need an ignition switch, I believe. Take our probe off there. And or we need a lock cylinder. I don't know which one is causing the lack of turnage. Is accessory in the reverse position on this thing? Oh, it is. I did not know that. Okay. That's a lot of beeping. An accessory is key backwards. Well, you don't see that too often nowadays. That's the way it was back when I was a kid, but let's get some directions on how to tear this thing apart. Probably ought to check some availability from Chrysler for both items. In case we need one or the other, because I know we need, well, one or the other. And I don't know how it's sold, if it's a whole lock cylinder housing, or if the switch is just separate, or what the dealio is. Let's set this where we can all see. So it looks like it is behind this multifunction switch, which I think the screws that hold the column together also hold this on, or so it seems. So I'm going to take and unplug it. Get that one plugger there, and another plugger on this side. Get those out of the way. That's fun. Set that to the side. Now I can see the little screw. Set that to the side. I don't see a plug-in on that traction button, so I'm just gonna leave that just kind of hanging. I don't think we really need to take it off. And we'll come back over here. And there's one little tamper-proof Torx in the side of this ignition switch. What I want to know is, you know, is there something with our shift interlock that's holding us up? Or what? That looks like semen. It says semen right on it. It does not look like semen. It looks like probably the remote key. I see it's got the ring around it for the transponder. Because I don't know if we have to pull the lock cylinder out or not. But if we do, I wonder if we can. Because then perhaps we could just reach right in there with the old screwdriver. So there's the lock cylinder. That comes right out nice and easy. Nice and easy. Then what do we got? Oh boy. He's not the screwdriver type. What's in there? That's the key end donger. Okay. Let's just see how this feels. This apparatus feels like it turns nicely. Alright. So that's good. Well, we'll just leave this out for the time being. So to get the lock cylinder out, you turn it one click on. You'll see where this little donger sticks out of the bottom of the aluminum housing, and I just turn it on, push it with a screwdriver, and give it a yank, and then your key will stay in there. In the wrong position, you won't be able to push that in, so that's not too overly difficult. You need me, young lady?
I was just wondering what brand of belt you usually use.
Looks like one screw. And it's tamper-proof. It does not want us to touch it. I don't know if that's too bright for you or not. Enhance. Oh, way too big for the whole fella. Let's go with a T15. Still too big. T10. Oh yeah. First try. Let me close this before 7,000 bits hit the floor. Why tamper-proof? That's just annoying, you know? Alright, I got that screw out. Stick that down in no man's land. And then what? See, it had some lock tabs on it. I wonder if we could push them. Oh! Where are they? I thought it was said bull. Yeah, it does. Uh-oh. There's a piece of broken aluminum. Just fell down. Just hit the floor. Where is it here? Let me get it in my fingers. Alright, let me get back up in here where we can carry on. Unenhance. So there's a piece of aluminum that fell out up in here. That is part of the lock cylinder unit. Unit the lock cylinder goes into, that is actually broke. So I'm assuming that our ignition switch here is going to be A-OK. But what we need to do, folks, being that I just turned that off like a hoo-hoo, it means this is not going to go back in. That's lovely. I'm going to get our lock cylinder back in so we can get our key. Actually, you know what? We just need to hold the key. I'm just going to stick the key in the blank hole over here by the transponder. I'm going to go get a little screwdriver. We'll turn this and the vehicle should start. I'm thinking, Marie, will you go get us a flathead on the magnet bar? I got my four little screwdrivers there. Get the bigger of the two, please. And like I say, we'll hold this so security will be happy with it. And then I'm assuming that this here will turn normally. Alright. Let me just kind of stick the key in. Kind of just wedge it up over here. Right, will you open the other door on the other side and just hold this key for me? I'm not a real good thief, even with the key. Just hold this key here near this hole. Okay, you got her?
Yep.
All right, let's get out of here before the cops show up.
Quick! Howard! Well, I don't know how hard is the key then.
Yeah, you need the key. That's all. You know, I can steal it. If I got the key,
I can steal it.
I can steal it. All right, boom. So there. Good thing I didn't just buy the ignition switch like the other shop said to.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have fixed it and you would have went another shop.
Yeah, we would have thrown them right under the bus.
Right into the Jeep.
Right under the Jeep. So, so that's it, folks. We need to find out how we get this little guy. I believe this light is big and stupid, Marie. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't like big bulks of light.
I don't, but it's huge. It's 20 volts. The wall, not a sponsor.
Yeah, you're just really excited about it.
Yeah, I know.
But you're gonna go back to the other wings.
I will.
Next week.
All right. Let me find out what I got to buy here, folks, to get this piece that is broke, and we'll take it from there. So I did a little looking. It appears that they make just the kibbles and bits that go inside this thing. So I think I see a couple screws on the bottom here. Let's get everything unplugged. This is airbag stuff, clock spring stuff. I'm thinking the bottom half of this comes down. Now this is the shift interlock cable here. All right. So buttons on my underwear. That should come unplugged one way or another. So I got a release on the front of it. How's that work? I'll tell you what. When all else fails, just take some screws out of something. All right? If they didn't want us to take it apart, they wouldn't have put it together with screws. Now in the picture, it did show a big honky spring. So somewhere's inside of here, there's a big spring that's probably going to jump out and bite us. So cover your eyes. I'll hold that up in while I take out the last screw. Alright, I'm going to hold that with that finger. And then we'll just kind of keep our hands. Oh, it feels springy. Oh, that's not a big screw. In the picture, it looked huge. So there's that spring. Now that went inside the little cup here. Alright. So let me set that to the side. And I don't know. Oh boy, I feel like I just screwed something up. We'll take this whole kit and caboodle out of here. Oh boy, that looks like a little hand grenade. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. So here's all of those parts and pieces. That's the steering column lock right there, okay. Not a big deal. There's our broken piece now. Oddly enough, the Advanced Auto Parts and Battery, not a sponsor, had one of these in stock. Oh, I see, that's how the key and buzzer works. Ah, I get it now. Okay. Well, let's wait for the new parts to show up and see if we can't get this mess back together. And with any bit of luck, it'll work when we're done. So we've got all the new kibbles and bits that just showed up. So we will very gingerly stick that up in place. So we got all the new kibbles and bits that just showed up. So we'll stick it all up in place before it grenades. It does not seem to fit as nicely. I gotta look. Oops, wrong hole, fella. There she goes. Just kind of got to wiggle it in. Story of my life. Put the cap on it. Now, I just wanted to see if that, before we put the spring in, I wanted to see if it's going to fit flush. kind of does. That's the steering column lock. So I'll make sure it's up in all the way. And I tell you what, before I spin that, let me get the lock cylinder. I want to make sure it's in the correct position. Bear with me, folks. I'm going to come off to the side here where you guys can't see. I just got to look in the hole. Make sure everything's lined up how I want it before we get much further. Make sure which direction does that go? That goes that direction. So that is going to be slightly forward. So I'm going to reach over here. Need to rotate that just a little bit. Okay. I want to put it in the off position. I'm going to leave it there in the off position. Now it's going to feel slightly weird because the steering column lock, I think they lock upside down. I've got to go answer that. Where were we? The spring. The spring has sprung, so I'll stick the spring in. The spring goes on the bottom of the lock, steering column lock. This kind of holds that up in. Get everything right lined here. Might have to flick that key on and off to get the column lock correct. Where'd you put the keys, you ding dong? Actually, I'm going to pull that back out. I want to have another little look-see here. I'm going to drop that spring down. There it is. I'm going to pull. Nope, that shouldn't matter. Okay, that just matters how that lines up with the housing. Okay, just wanted to see how that functioned quickly, just so I could make certain that everything is in the correct order and is going to function. Now, I think on Chrysler columns they lock in the upside down position. So we've got that held up how it needs to be. And I set one of the screws down somewhere else. I've got another one right here. I'm just going to hold that. Oops, everything's right in your way. You can't see crap, can you? Tried to get you in the optimal viewing angle. There's my other screw stuck right to my screwdriver. So we got that one started, so then we'll get the other one that is conveniently right where we left it. That one up in there. That one up in there. I don't want to break anything, so like I said, it's not going to feel right until we stick the switch on it. Okay, that is in the off position, which our switch technically should be. That does look like it's sitting up there flat. Snug that one up. Snug that one up. Our shifter is locked. Let's make sure the unlocked portion of it works. And it does, and it relocks. Beautiful. Now, what in the thunder did I do with the other screw? Right there. And then we'll take our switch. We should be able to put that switch right back in. It should be in the off position. Let me have a look-see. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let me just flick the key just in case I'm an accessory or something. Alright. It's got kind of some funny lock tabs, but it did lock on. Just wanted to be sure. So we'll put our last screw in. There's that. So now let's see how the key feels. Good, now it's got some positive clicks. Accessory mode. That works. That's off. On. Run. And really run. Alright, I'd say we did a good job. Now we gotta put this back. Of course, we're gonna have a bunch of lights on the dash because of all this stuff we have unplugged. There's that. Now we should be able to put our multifunction switch back in. Come on, slip on past there, little guy. It's kind of like one of those little puzzle games you get for Christmas. You only use once, you know? You solve it, you never touch it again. Pew, pew. Did I just bury the connector? A little bit. There's one connector. There's one. I think there's another one hiding over here, right? Where are you, little guy? Alright, there's that. So now we should be able to stick this back up on top. Like so. In case you guys didn't believe. I don't know why you wouldn't believe me. You heard it run. We've got the light that says we need to check the engine. That's probably because we're meddling with the relay. So I'll let this boot up. I'll see what that is. See if we can't get that cleared out. In the meantime, meanwhile, we're going to stick this back on. Because everything's plugged in, right? We tightened everything up. Everybody's happy. I'm happy. You're happy. The other shop's going to be happy. They can come get their car the same day they dropped it off. No fancy stuff required. Let me go get a Torx bit for these, and I'll put these back up in here. Well, I was going to double check this one, even though I know I tightened it, but it no longer exists. Oh, there it is. That one's tight. This one's hiding up in here somewhere. Where you at, fella? I know I've already found you once. Well, that one's tight. We know it's tight. And what we're going to do is we will, just in case you guys are wondering, there's some codes. Speed control switches, we cause them problems. Unfortunately, I can't just clear those, so we'll just take them back out. This fella's light has been on. Let's see. Wow, why didn't I just clear them when I was in there the first time? The reason why I do that, I just don't want somebody to get sidetracked with speed control. You know, I don't want them to start changing a bunch of parts that it doesn't need. At least this way they can change catalytic converter and EGR valve and got half a shot at getting it right. That should be it. Now you can, oh yeah, flashing blue lights, boom, side lights, everything. Walkie-talkies, we got this thing. All right, right over here, lady, right over here. And that's it. Now it starts and runs, so that's good. Key works. Let's make sure the column lock works. Upside down. shifter interlock works, the steering column lock works, and most importantly, the car starts and runs. Can't believe we didn't set any starter relay circuit codes, but that's neither here nor there. It wasn't too bad, and we didn't have to put a switch in it as I was originally hired to do, so that's good. They'll be happy about that. Although I think that part was more money than the switch, because the switch was abnormally cheap. It was only like a $20 switch, but I think that thing, I don't know how much I think it was, like 40 bucks, I think. But it prevented us from having to buy the whole, you know, rigmarole through Chrysler. And the fact they had one on the shelf at Advanced Auto Parts and Batteries. Not a sponsor, but helpful in this case. Why don't you guys be helpful to me and go down there and click that subscribe button, ring that bell, and leave a question, comment, criticism, or a concern you might have down there in the comment box. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.